Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. We are looking at game number 3, Scan versus Paralyze. Right now, tied up 1-1. Absolutely loving it. Really, really interesting game so far. Really kind of making me think. Not at all going how I thought they would. Let me know if they've been kind of surprising to you as well. We're on Dominator here for game 3. So we did already see one Dominator game. You know, that was one in which Scan did some really great pushes, killed the third base twice, and ended up losing to some quality Psy Storms against his attack. Wow. So, I'm thinking about what's going on in these games that are making them surprising. Okay. And it's like there's a lot of damage being dealt. And the thing is, once damage gets dealt, okay, there's a very hard thing about finishing a game. And especially with Paralyze's style and especially with Terran. Like, there are certain compositions where it's very easy to finish games. Okay, so let me talk about some of those compositions. Let's say that you go heavy ultras in Zerg vs. Terran. If you get a big advantage, you can actually just attack, move, and win the game. Okay, let's say you go carriers in Protoss vs. Terran, and you get a big advantage. You just win the game. There's really not much to it. But there are certain strategies and certain positions and stuff like that where finishing the game is very, very hard. So, like, for instance, Terran in general, that's one of the difficult things about Terran. Okay, so the Vulture is the fastest unit in the game, but other than that, every single unit Terran has is slower than what those units are fighting against. So you actually can't really retreat, which makes attacking with Terran very tough. If you watch Protoss and Zerg players, when they're attacking, they can turn around. They can start an attack or get into position for an attack and be like, oh, actually, this isn't going to go my way, and turn around and go. That's not the case with Terran. Terran has no retreat, really. Like, I mean, you can technically sometimes tactically set up retreats where you're laying mines and they're clearing mines as they try to chase you and you get your tanks home just in time, that type of thing. Like, things like that can occur, but just in general, okay? So attacking with Terran is very, very difficult. And Terran is almost always down bases, right? So, and like has less production. So it's like, okay, you know, the attacking is very tough. So it can be really hard to actually finish a game where you're really far ahead. Paralyze's style as well. It's really hard to finish a game with the mass speed shuttle play. It's super good at taking sloppy engagements. It's super good at harassment. But you can't actually kill entrenched Terran positions with it. But it's still, like, in theory, maybe the strongest way to play the game, because it's so good at other things, but really bad at killing. So when those two things are meeting here, we're actually having some absolutely wild games that are really kind of unpredictable. By the way, this micro from Scan is mwah, chef's kiss. My God, the Zealot can't even get any damage. Really well done. He has that third depot coming up as well. The way that Scan is playing it, I actually want to see Paralyze if he doesn't get scouted first. Keep the Zealot to the side. Because the way he's playing it is he wants to do 3 Marine, 1 Vulture expand. And, oh God, Scan's actually sending. Oh, okay. I'm surprised. Oh my God. I did not expect this. But the Zealot already took a bunch of damage. Going to come as a little bit of a surprise to this Dragoon. He's going to lose a lot of his shields before the attack begins. In fact, all of them. He's trying to get a little bit of damage on that Vulture. Shield battery on the way. Second Dragoon. Scan going into Vulture and mine from here even. Oh my God. He almost trapped that goon. But already has it down to 64 health. That's not very good. Doesn't seem like that was really all that helpful. Looks very bad right now for our Protoss player. So he's going to get up and try to target down on this SCV that's making. It's some good repairs there from Scan. And he does end up eliminating that Dragoon. This bunker, I think, will probably get up if he just keeps these two SCVs back for a moment, because his army actually wins this. Even with the shield battery, I'm pretty sure he should be able to force this up. It's just if the Zealot comes up, you have to really target it down quickly. Okay, so he gets that up, but that's just out of range of the Nexus, I believe. So he's going to use that as support. He's going to continue to push. You might look at this and say, why doesn't he load the Nexus? Well, then, I mean, the bunker, it's because he won't get the Nexus then. Very likely, because range is done. So he's got to really put the pressure forward right now. He's actually laying a lot of mines. He might eventually... Ooh! It might be worthwhile to just pull back into the bunker and get the pylon at this point, but we'll see. Okay, he's actually targeting probes down reasonably well. He's down to 16 probes, and he does eventually pull back. So range is done, and you have to be careful about these mines, of course. But yeah, this doesn't reach the Nexus. If it was here, it would. But yeah, that's what happens in the game sometimes. So, like, the Nexus is not going to die, but Scan is still trying to get some damage. He goes for his own command center, but it's, like, really, really late. So even though he got all that probe damage... Oh, wow. I was looking elsewhere, but it looks like a mine actually ended up hitting, so Scan's going to push again. If that hadn't happened, I was going to say, like, for sure we're going to catch up on workers here as Protoss because of the double Nexus. Yeah, just sacrifices that for another probe. Not a terrible choice. Observer will be coming out relatively soon, and you can clear this out. Second factory is going to be what Scan wants to go for. He's actually getting siege mode right now as well. And he hasn't seen an observer yet. I wonder if he's going to throw down an eBay, because if I was him right now, I'd be like, this must be Reaver. There's no observer yet. Like, this feels a little bit late for that. But we'll see. A siege tank comes up before he has the mines cleared, which is actually making this even worse. Oh my god. If only he could get that goon. But another goon coming up. Took the shields off this one already, plus some hull damage. Some nice micro there from Scan. He's being very careful. And there's the observer finally. So, two SCVs come up. He's going to lose the tank. Scan just sacking the tank, knowing that that's going down. Trying to get the goon! Yeah, he's not going to get it. Going to lose an extra SCV for that. Good try, good try. Other siege tank going to turn around, go home. Let's take a look here. Shuttle on the way. I actually quite like the shuttle. I think he should be going Reaver off just the 2 base. He needs some sort of counterplay here. Okay. So, Scan ended up getting that to work even better because of the mine hitting the goons. And he is up 6 workers. So, based on the other 2 games, Scan's dead. Based on just looking at the position, it looks like Scan's so far ahead in this game right now. The fact that he has, yeah, look at this, a third factory coming. He has a second add-on coming already. I don't see an eBay, which is the one thing he's really super missing right now, and he's gonna need. Yeah, okay, eBay just got started. So he needs to get those turrets up. You know, Reaver's very good here. There's a lot of surface area that you got to try to cover from those shuttles. And I think we're just kind of like try to make units and probes nonstop phase of this game right now of recovery for Paralyze. Speed on the way. It's kind of interesting. Like, he's to go for the third factory here. Maybe because he lost so many units. But generally you would have seen an armory here. I think he actually wants to attack again, is the thing. I think he's simply going to go attack and recognize that just the army is still very weak. Yeah, it looks like that. Vulture speed not done yet, but these Dragoons in excellent position to maybe pick off a few units. Yeah, he's going to get 1 tank already. He's going to probably lose a goon here. Very worthwhile, though. Goon for tank, 100%. Takes a little bit of extra damage there as well. Reaver coming up. I don't know if this push does much more, but you're going to have Vulture speed soon. And the Vulture speed does open up other possibilities of kind of running around the army. So he's laying some mines. The Reaver looks like it wants to go towards the main base. There's not a lot in here, just a couple missile turrets. So that's only going to slow him momentarily. Now, Scan continuing to attack as the Reaver goes into his main base. Actually, like, this exact position obviously is a very rare one, but, like, counterattacking while the Reaver's going in your base is a pretty common thing. In fact, even from Scan's ASL run against Mini, he was in a position somewhat similar to this, where it could have gone either way. He was attacking, his opponent was Reaver dropping, and it's like, okay, well, my army kills your goons, but Your Reaver can kill SCVs very quickly. And you can see now it is in that mineral line, and he is starting to absolutely decimate this economy. Probe looks like it was ready for a third base in this location. Tanks and vultures still coming down. I feel like he's built a good amount of Dragoons at this point. He does have a Reaver on the way. I'm not sure that this push does that much. So Paralyze is ahead as far as workers go. The shuttle came back to help deal with this push. I don't think he actually needed to do that. I think he had just enough to hold it off with goons. But now with the Reaver here, he might be able to zone these tanks away. If he gets his goons on high ground and the tanks are still down here, that would be huge. Oh, God. Okay, those are really good mines right there. That's going to be able to push everything back. Great pullback there. And Scan does re-get his high ground. This is such a dirty game. Very, very, very messy. Shuttle with the speed upgrade now going to re-dive into the main. He doesn't have anything with the Reaver. Oh my God. He's threading the needle right now. Okay, Scarabs through the mineral patches are really hard. They glitch a lot. This is not a good place to drop a Reaver. And he knows that too. He's trying to not take turret hits, basically. So he clears that turret, so now he can micro around the left side. Oh, man. Third Nexus coming up. He's up to 4 gates here. Oh, man. Oh, God, he's going to pick off tanks. The tank's kind of pathing poorly through the center. But honestly, I think that the attack for Scan, like, its utility was gone a while ago. Okay, so the few Dragoons are still kind of being picked off. Looks like he's still trying to make something happen with the Reaver, but dude, he's so good with the speed shuttles. This guy might be the next Snow. Like, years off of it. But did you see him get between that? This is like, the shuttle can barely fit where neither turret hits, and he took 0 shots coming out. Really, really good micro with that shuttle. So, Scan now. He's on the 3 factories. I don't think there's any attack potential. He throws up the command center. This is really, really good. The production is not super high for his opponent. But now Scan needs to add a lot of factories. The one thing that I think Scan has no real room for right now is really continuing his upgrades. In my opinion here, you have to go like at least 6 factory. He might throw a starport. We'll see. But I feel like, you know, this is a good command center timing, but you know your opponent is ahead, and they're going to start, like, really getting out a lot of units. And to hold on, I don't think 5 factory does it. I think you need 6 or 7 facts. I feel like I would try to go up to 7 factory here while expanding, and as the supply goes up, then think about the starport. 4 speed shuttles coming across the map. Look at this supply differential. All right, this attacking in, Scan is holding it pretty well so far. But that is a lot of units to have to deal with. Good targeting. The Reaver is really the only thing that's dangerous here. You don't care that much about goons in your base in these smaller numbers. It's really more about clearing that Reaver so you don't just suddenly lose all your SCVs or have it blow up siege tanks before they can get into position. So probably has to siege these. Oh, no, he's just going to attack in. Okay. But clear that turret. Like, he can back up out of here as soon as he's done microing. Wow. Good blow up on those 2 tanks right at the end. Very worth. 77 supply to 117. Not looking super hot for Scan. He is floating his command center over. He lost a lot of army there. He's only on 5 factories. This is not a huge gateway count. Like, 5 factories does hold 6 gate. But the economy is going to scale up a bit quicker here for Paralyze. And in fact, Paralyze is getting his Templar Archives. He's getting a forge here, 2nd forge. So he's going to get his upgrades going as well. He has his 4th base coming up. I feel like Paralyze is doing everything very, very well. You know, I jokingly said, obviously, Scan's screwed after he did all that damage and had an SCV lead, but here we are again. Oh, man. I'm starting to get some ideas. Is it easier to play from behind? Like, obviously, playing from behind is worse because you're behind and you need to make things happen. But it's strategically... Well, no, I wouldn't say it's strategically easier, but, like, it's kind of straightforward. Like, you're less likely to... Well, I'll talk about that in a minute because we actually have an attack coming in. All right, that is a good bomb of Zealots out there. I think he's actually just going to kill him. Because if you just clear this side and go up into the natural, that's it. Like, you don't have to feed into these tanks on the high ground. Yeah, he goes after the natural. I think you just leave this game as Scan. There's really nothing left. Yeah, he doesn't really have anything on the map. He has 1 Vulture out there. Zealots just coming right in. Yeah, that's scanning around is just him checking and being like, okay, well, what's, you know, what does he have? He was going to leave the game when he started scanning there. That's you always use your scans at the end to check what the game looks like, so you don't have to necessarily look at the replay right away. Okay, so let me get back to that thought real quick, because every game, whoever starts out winning ends up losing. Okay, now I want to add in just a little personal detail. I am so much better from behind. Like playing from a position that's a bit disadvantaged. And I think I've always felt like that's because my openers have always kind of been bad. And actually, I have so many games that I play because I practice a lot, guys. And I'm okay, all right. And like a lot of my games where I get an advantage in the early game, I end up screwing up and losing. That's like something I'm really trying to work on right now. I'm not that good at playing from ahead and finishing a game out. And then you have, but like, okay, so when you're behind, you're like, okay, I'm dying in 1 mistake. Like not just going from winning to losing in a mistake, but dying. Okay, so like for instance, if you're really trying to come back from something, you'll make sure that your defense is like set up really, really well. That type of thing. Okay. So I wonder, it occurred to me that it's like, okay, well, you know, it becomes somewhat straightforward what you have to do when you're behind. I don't think it's actually that, for me personally, maybe it's easier to play from behind, but, it just, I don't know, that thought occurred to me. Let me know what you think about that. But yeah, this is getting almost creepy that whoever gets a nice advantage in the early game is just losing. Because definitely Scan's push and like the amount of probes he killed, and then he got the base up, right? Like, it's when the additional mine hit that really screwed everything up. It's not here. Because here, I'm like, okay, Paralyze is going to catch up on workers pretty easy. But hold on. He's going to get a mine here. And there it was. Okay, so that allowed Scan to come back in. Because see here, he's down 4 workers, but this just started. It takes 75 seconds for a command center to finish. It takes 13 seconds for a worker. So what is that? It's 5 to 6 workers you get out in that time. So when you see a deficit of 4, he'll actually be up workers, right? If nothing else occurs when the command center finishes. And that's like, it's a pretty good metric as to where you're at in the game, worker-wise in this matchup. But he lost those goons, which allowed these units to come back in and deal more damage. And it's like, yeah, less mining time, more damage, all that stuff. So anyways, that allowed Scan to get even further ahead, and he added the factories, whatever. I think, you know, there was some mistakes in the pushing and everything. But that might be because he was trying to finish him off, too. Yeah. Finishing from ahead positions can be tough, I guess. Oh, I don't know. I feel like we're having all these really interesting spots that I'm talking about and trying to analyze. I'm like, there's no answer here, guys. This is all rhetorical. Well, I don't think it actually is, but anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in Scan vs. Paralyze. The winner loses game 4.